Hey there, amazing seniors. Welcome back to Thrive Senior, where we help you live stronger, healthier, and happier after 60. Today, we are talking about something that hits close to home for so many of us, muscle loss. You know, that sneaky thing where your arms feel weaker, your legs get tired faster, and simple tasks like carrying groceries become a big deal. It's called Sarcopenia, and it can steal up to 15% of your muscle strength every year after 60. But here's the good news, you don't need fancy protein powders to fight back. Those things, they are often just expensive dust in a shiny jar. They drain your wallet and don't always work as promised. Your body craves real food, stuff from nature that it can recognize, absorb, and use right away. Think about it. Our grandparents built strong bodies from kitchen staples, not lab-made shakes. And science agrees, real foods packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals can stop muscle loss in its tracks, rebuild strength, and even turn back the clock on how you feel. In this video, I'll share 8 powerful natural foods that do just that. They are easy to find, cheap, and delicious. And wait till you hear about number 3. It's got a study that shows seniors regaining muscle power like they were 20 years younger. Before we jump in, quick question, where are you watching from today? And are you still buying those protein powders, or are you ready to switch to real food? Drop it in the comments, I read everyone, and your story could inspire someone else. Okay, let's get started with number 8. It's a humble bean that's way more powerful than any powder. Number 8, chickpeas. Number 8 is chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans. These little guys might look plain, but they are a muscle-building powerhouse for us seniors. Chickpeas are loaded with plant-based protein, about 7 grams in just half a cup, plus fiber and key amino acids like leucine. Leucine is like a magic switch that turns on your body's muscle-making process. As we get older, our bodies don't build muscle as easily, but chickpeas help by providing steady energy and nutrients without the crash from sugary foods. Studies show that eating legumes like chickpeas can improve muscle endurance by up to 20% in older adults. They keep your nitrogen balance in check, which means your muscles stay preserved instead of breaking down. Plus, they are full of magnesium to fight cramps and iron for better oxygen flow to your muscles. No more feeling weak halfway through the day. Let me tell you about Joan, a 72-year-old grandma who loved gardening but couldn't bend down without pain. She swapped her usual rice for a simple chickpea salad, just mixed them with tomatoes, cucumbers, a bit of olive oil, and lemon. In weeks, she was pulling weeds like a pro. Her doctor said the extra protein and minerals were feeding her muscles directly. Chickpeas are super versatile too. Roast them for a crunchy snack, blend into hummus for dipping veggies, or toss in soups. They are cheap, weigh less than powders, and no weird fillers. If you're vegetarian or have tummy issues, these are gentle and filling. Try adding them to your meals 3 times a week, and feel the difference. Alright, moving on to number 7, a seed that's often mistaken for a grain, but it's the total game changer. Number 7, quinoa. Number 7 is quinoa. This tiny seed packs a punch. It's the complete protein, meaning it has all 9 amino acids your body needs but can't make on its own. For seniors over 60, that's huge because we often don't get enough quality protein without eating tons of meat. Quinoa gives you about 8 grams per cooked cup, plus magnesium for muscle contractions and potassium to stop cramps. It digests slowly, so you get steady energy all day, no spikes or crashes. Research backs it up. Quinoa rivals dairy in its amino acid profile, helping stimulate muscle protein synthesis and reduce fatigue. Older adults who swap refined grains for quinoa see better muscle recovery, especially with light walks or stretches. It's gluten-free, so great if your digestion is sensitive. Harold, a 68-year-old retired driver, used to feel shaky on stairs after his toast breakfast. His daughter suggested quinoa porridge with berries and nuts. Cook it like oatmeal, add milk or yogurt. 2 months later, his legs were steady, and he ditched afternoon naps. The steady amino acids were repairing his muscles non-stop. Cook quinoa broth for flavor, use it in salads, or as a side instead of rice. It's fluffy, nutty, and fills you up without weighing you down. Better than any shake, real food for real strength. Now, let's hit number 6, a superfood that looks weird but works wonders. Number 6, spirulina. Number 6 is spirulina. Okay, it looks like green powder from the sea. It's actually algae, but don't let that scare you. Spirulina is 70% protein by weight, with all the essential amino acids, B vitamins, iron, and magnesium. For us seniors, it's extraordinary because it boosts muscle strength and endurance quickly. Studies on older adults show spirulina can increase strength by over 10% in just 8 weeks. It reduces muscle fatigue and helps recovery after daily activities. The antioxidants fight inflammation, which is a big reason muscles weaken with age. Plus, iron carries oxygen to your muscles, keeping them energized. Martha, a 70-year-old grandma, struggled with groceries upstairs. She ditched bloated whey powders for a teaspoon of spirulina in water or smoothies daily. A month later, she climbed without stopping. It gave her sustainable strength without side effects. Mix spirulina in yogurt, add to green smoothies with banana to mask the taste, or take as tablets. It's nutrient-dense, a little goes a long way. No artificial stuff, just pure power from nature. Excited for number 5? It's creamy and tangy, and easier on your tummy than you think. Number 5, goat cheese. Number 5 is goat cheese. Surprised? This creamy delight is easier to digest than cow's cheese because of smaller fat molecules and unique proteins. It packs high-quality protein, about 6 grams per ounce, plus calcium for strong bones and muscles. Leucine in it flips on muscle building, and it's absorbed fast, even if your digestion slows with age. Research shows goat milk proteins digest better, leading to more amino acids in your blood for muscle repair. It's great for preventing weakness and supporting energy. Medium-chain fats burn quick for fuel, not fat storage. Richard, a 74-year-old retiree, avoided cheese due to stomach issues. His granddaughter added goat cheese to salads and omelets. Weeks later, he climbed steps without help. The easy absorption filled nutrient gaps. Crumble it on veggies, spread on whole grain crackers, or mix in eggs. Soft and flavorful, a treat that builds strength. No bloating like powders. On to number 4, a seafood star that's lean and mean for mussels. Number 4. Mussels. Oh, mussels, these humble little shellfish from the sea might not scream muscle builder at first glance, but let me tell you, they are like a secret weapon tucked away in your local grocery store or fish market. Picture them, those dark, ridged shells opening up to reveal tender, orange flesh gems inside. They are not just a fancy dinner party food. They are a powerhouse packed with everything your body needs to fight back against that sneaky muscle loss we call sarcopenia. We are talking 20 grams of lean, high-quality protein in just 3 ounces. That's about the size of a small handful. And it's not isolated protein like in those lab-made shakes. It's real, whole food protein that your muscles can grab onto and use right away. But wait, it gets even better. Mussels are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, you know, those good fats that everyone talks about for heart health. Well, for us seniors over 60, they do wonders for our muscles too. Studies show they can improve muscle function by up to 20% in older adults, all by dialing down inflammation, that low-level fire in your body that makes muscles ache and break down faster as we age, and cranking up growth signals. Imagine your muscles getting a cool, soothing bath while tiny repair crews get to work building them back stronger. Plus, there's iron for delivering oxygen straight to your muscle cells so they don't tire out during a simple walk, zinc to help repair those tiny tears in your tissues after a day of moving around, and selenium, an antioxidant that shields your muscles from everyday wear and tear. The science here is rock solid and easy to wrap your head around. Researchers have found that eating seafood like mussels doesn't just pad your protein intake, it actually boosts muscle mass and endurance, especially when you pair it with some light exercise, like those gentle arm circles or leg lifts you can do right from your chair. One study followed seniors just like you and me, and those who added Mussels the couple times a week saw real gains, stronger grips, steadier steps, and less of that frustrating fatigue that sneaks up mid-afternoon. It's because these nutrients work together like a well-oiled team. The protein builds the structure, omega-3s keep it flexible and inflammation-free, and the minerals make sure everything runs smoothly without cramps or weakness. Let me paint a picture with a real story that hits close to home. Meet Eleanor. She's 69, with salt and pepper hair and a lifelong love for the ocean. Growing up by the coast, she used to stroll those sandy beaches for miles, collecting shells and feeling the salt air fill her lungs. But in her later years, Sarcopenia crept in quietly. Her legs started feeling heavy, like they were filled with sand, and those beach walks. They turned into short shuffles with constant breaks on benches, leaving her frustrated and a bit sad. Seafood had always been off her plate. She worried about the smell or the prep, but her doctor, spotting her low iron levels on a routine checkup, gently nudged her. "Eleanor, try mussels. They are simple, packed with what your muscles are starving for, and they'll get that ocean energy flowing again." Skeptical but willing, Eleanor started small. She picked up a bag of fresh mussels from the market, affordable, about the price of a couple of coffees, and whipped up a simple stew, steamed them open with a splash of white wine, garlic, fresh herbs like parsley and thyme, and a handful of cherry tomatoes for color and tang. It took under 20 minutes on the stovetop, no fuss. The first bite? Briny and buttery, like a hug from the sea. She'd ate it twice a week, maybe tossing the cooked mussels into a light pasta with lemon zest or simmering them in a veggie-packed soup for cozy evenings. Months later, and this is the part that gives me chills, Eleanor was back on those beaches. Not just shuffling, but striding with purpose, no breaks needed. Her doctor reviewed her follow-up tests and grinned. "Eleanor, your inflammation markers are down, oxygen delivery to your muscles is up, and you've got that spark again." It wasn't magic, it was muscles delivering real, absorbable omega-3s that calmed the fire in her joints and muscles, iron pumping fresh energy to her legs, and protein weaving new strength into every step. Now, she even hosts muscle nights with her grandkids, sharing stories of the sea while they all laugh over steaming bowls. So, how can you make mussels your ally? Keep it easy. Fresh ones are best, but frozen work great too in thaw in minutes. Steam them in a pot with garlic, a squeeze of lemon, and herbs until they pop open. Discard any that don't, for safety. Pile them on whole grain toast for a quick lunch, stir into pasta with spinach and olive oil for dinner, or blend into a creamy soup with potatoes and carrots. They are versatile, quick cooking, 5 minutes tops, and way cheaper than fish oil pills or fancy supplements. Plus, your body recognizes these natural omega-3s and puts them to work faster, without any synthetic fillers. If you've got shellfish allergies, check with your doc first, but for most of us, mussels are a game changer, turning everyday meals into mussel-saving rituals that taste incredible. Weird, doesn't that make you want to head to the store right now? But hold on, we're building to something huge. Now, number 3, the one with that shocking study that's going to blow your mind. It's a food so everyday, yet so transformative, it feels like it rolled back the years. Number 3. Black beans. Black beans, these glossy, dark little powerhouses that hide in cans on your pantry shelf or simmer away in a pot, looking unassuming but delivering knockout punches for your muscles. If mussels were the ocean's gift, black beans are the earth's quiet hero, releasing their magic slowly and steadily so your body can soak it all up without overwhelm. 1 cup, that's about what fits in your palm after cooking, gives you a solid 15 grams of plant-based protein, plus a treasure trove of leucine, that star amino acid we keep talking about. Leucine is like the ignition key for muscle protein synthesis, the body's way of taking what you eat and turning it into stronger, fuller muscle tissue. For us over 60, our ignition gets a bit rusty, but black beans make it spark right up, easier and more reliably than many other foods. And they are not just about protein. These beans are bursting with fiber that keeps things moving gently through your gut, no bloating or crashes like with sugary snacks, plus magnesium to ease those muscle twitches and cramps that wake you at night, and iron to keep oxygen flowing to every fiber. Together, they lower inflammation across your whole body, making your muscles more responsive, less achy, and ready to rebuild. It's like giving your muscles this slow-release energy drink that's all natural and zero crash. The evidence? It's not just talk. A landmark study in a British Journal of Nutrition tracked older adults like us over months, splitting them into groups, one munching on beans regularly, the other sticking to standard diets heavy on refined stuff. The bean eaters? They ended up with significantly greater muscle mass and raw strength, think better balance when reaching for that high shelf or easier lifts when hugging grandkids. And here's the shocker, their endurance shot up too, with less fatigue after daily tasks. Why? Because black beans don't just feed your muscles, they nourish your gut bacteria, those trillions of tiny helpers in your belly that scientists are now linking directly to muscle health. A healthier gut means better nutrient absorption, less sneaky inflammation stealing your strength, and even improved mood to keep you moving. Let me bring this to life with George, a 71-year-old guy with a salt and pepper beard and a workshop full of half-finished birdhouses. George was the classic do-it-myself retiree, fixing fences, tinkering in the garage, but Sarcopenia was whispering doubts. His hands shook opening jars, his back protested after 10 minutes bent over, and those daily protein shakes. They left him gassy and no stronger. "I'm fading," he'd sigh to his wife. Then, at a neighborhood potluck, his buddy, a former chef, slid a bowl of black bean chili his way, hearty, smoky, with chunks of bell peppers, onions, and a kick of cumin. "Try this instead of your shakes, George. It's real food that sticks." George ditched the powders cold turkey and started simple, rinsing canned black beans under cool water to wash away extra sodium, then folding them into everything. Breakfast tacos with scrambled eggs and avocado for a protein punch that lasted till lunch, lunchtime salads tossed with greens, corn, and lime for zing, dinner chilies simmered low and slow with tomatoes and spices, or even mashed into creamy dips with garlic for veggie sticks. It was filling, comforting, and, best of all, gentle on his stomach, no more post-shake regrets. Weeks in, George felt a shift. His grip on that stubborn screwdriver, ironclad. Carrying grocery bags up the driveway, effortless, like his 50s self. At his next checkup, the doc pulled up scans. "George, your muscle density's up, inflammation's down. Those beans are repairing you from the inside." It was the leucine flipping that synthesis switch, the fiber teeming with gut buddies to amp up absorption, and the iron ensuring every cell got its oxygen fix. Now, George's birdhouses are flying off the shelf at local fairs, and he's planning a garden fence project, all because black beans turned his meals into a daily dose of resilience. Making black beans work for you is a breeze, no fancy gear needed. Grab canned, low sodium if you can, or dry ones to soak overnight for that fresh taste. Rinse well, then get creative. Mash 'em for black bean burgers with oats and spices, grill 'em up for smoky tacos, or blend into a silky soup with carrots and herbs. They are budget-friendly, pennies per serving, and super versatile, whether you're vegetarian or just mixing it up. Portion tip: start with half a cup a day to ease in, and watch how they keep your energy steady, no afternoon slumps. This is the food from those studies that literally rolled back the clock 20 years for participants, stronger, steadier, and full of life. Almost to the top, number 2 is ancient and awesome, a grain that's been fueling warriors for centuries but is perfect for our modern muscle battles. Stick with me, you won't believe what's next. Number 2. Amaranth grain. Oh, amaranth, if you've never heard of it, picture this: tiny, pearl-like seeds that look like a cross between quinoa and sesame, with a warm, earthy view that just screams ancient wisdom. This isn't some trendy superfood fad, it's been around for thousands of years, fueling Aztec warriors and everyday folks with its quiet power. And for us seniors over 60, it's like a time machine in a bowl, a complete protein source that delivers all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own, including the heavy hitters, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. These are the dynamic trio that kickstart muscle protein synthesis, that magical process where your body grabs nutrients and weaves them into stronger, more resilient muscle fibers. No more guessing games with incomplete proteins. Amaranth hands your muscles exactly what they need to rebuild and hold on tight. But let's break it down simple. Why does this matter so much as we age? After 60, our muscles start playing hard to get. They don't respond as eagerly to meals, leading to that frustrating fade in strength and stamina. Amaranth steps in like a gentle coach, super digestible, so your body absorbs nearly every bit without the bloat or waste you get from heavier grains. It's also loaded with calcium to keep your bones sturdy enough to support those muscles, iron to shuttle oxygen so you don't puff out after a flight of stairs, and magnesium, that unsung hero, to smooth out contractions and banish those sneaky cramps that hit at the worst times. Together, they create a shield against everyday stress, turning potential weakness into steady power. The research. It's straightforward and eye-opening. One study in a journal of food science and technology put it to the test with folks our age. They swapped regular grains for amaranth-rich meals, and boom, up to 18% less fatigue after light activity, like gardening or a neighborhood stroll. Endurance climbed, meaning you could keep going longer without that "I've hit the wall" feeling. Another trial dove deeper, showing how amaranth's antioxidants, especially squalene, a rare compound that acts like a bodyguard for your cells, fight off oxidative stress. Think of it as mopping up the free radicals that nibble away at muscle tissue day after day, the invisible culprits behind soreness and slowdown. In plain English, amaranth doesn't just build muscle, it protects what you've got, making every step feel lighter and every lift easier. Now, let's make it personal with Helen, a 69-year-old with a sparkly laugh and a ritual of morning walks through her leafy suburb. Helen's been a walker her whole life, those crisp dawn hours, birds chirping, her sneakers hitting the pavement like a heartbeat. But lately, Sarcopenia had dimmed that joy. Her legs turned leaden after just a mile, soreness lingering like an unwelcome guest, forcing her to cut routes short and skip the uphill parts. "I'm losing my stride," she'd tell her walking buddy over coffee, eyeing her usual bowl of sugary cereal with a sigh. Quick energy, sure, but it left her crashing by 10 a.m., muscles begging for mercy. One rainy afternoon, flipping through a health magazine at the library, Helen spotted amaranth, ancient grain for modern strength. Intrigued, she grabbed a bag from the bulk section, affordable, like a few bucks for weeks' worth, and experimented. Her first try? A warm porridge, cooked just like rice. Rinse the seeds, simmer in water or milk for 20 minutes till they puff up soft and nutty, then stir in fresh berries for sweetness, a sprinkle of cinnamon, and a handful of walnuts for crunch. It smelled cozy, like toasted oats with a subtle, popcorn-like pop. No heavy gut load, just steady warmth that carried her through the morning. Weeks blurred into magic. Helen laced up for her walks, and suddenly, 2 miles felt like one. No soreness creeping in, no mid-stride wobbles. Her muscles hung with quiet fuel, the leucine trio firing up repairs overnight, squalene keeping damage at bay, and that magnesium easing every flex. At her annual checkup, the doc raised an eyebrow. "Helen, your endurance markers are stellar, like you've shaved years off." Now, she's leading group walks, sharing her secret porridge recipe, and feeling that warrior spirit again. Amaranth didn't overhaul her life, it reignited it, one steady spoonful at a time. Bringing amaranth into your world? Dead simple and fun. Cook it fluffy like rice for pilafs with veggies and herbs, pop the seeds in a dry pan for a crunchy snack sprinkled on yogurt, or fold into muffins and breads for a nutty twist that amps up the nutrition without changing the taste much. It's gluten-free, so friendly on sensitive tummies, and that mild, toasty flavor pairs with anything, sweet or savory. Start small, half a cup cooked a day, and feel how it builds that protective layer around your muscles, turning potential fatigue into "I can do this." And now, the number one food that reverses decline, the one so potent, it feels like nature's ultimate comeback story. You ready? This one's a game changer. Number 1. Tiger nuts. Hold on, tiger nuts. Don't let the name fool you, these aren't nuts at all, And they are not from tigers either. They are actually tiny, earthy tubers, think mini sweet potatoes, about the size of a large olive, with a wrinkled, chewy skin and a creamy, sweet inside that bursts with flavor like a mix of chestnut and coconut. Dug from the ground in places like Africa and Spain for millennia, they have been a staple for gut health and vitality long before superfood was a buzzword. For seniors like us, they are pure gold, a stealthy blend of resistant starch, that smart fiber your body ferments slowly for lasting energy, plus solid plant protein, arginine, an amino acid wizard, and a whopping load of magnesium, more than you'd get from almonds or spinach. It's like handing your muscles a toolkit. The starch fuels without spikes, protein patches the wear, arginine cranks open blood vessels for better flow, and magnesium keeps contractions firing smooth and cramp-free. Why does this combo crush sarcopenia? As we hit 60 and beyond, muscles weaken not just from less protein, but from poor circulation and mineral gaps that make every move feel labored. Tiger nuts flip the script. Arginine ramps up nitric oxide, your body's natural vasodilator, winding pipes so oxygen and nutrients rush to tired fibers faster, like upgrading from a narrow garden hose to a fire hydrant. Magnesium, meanwhile, is the relaxer in chief, supporting nerve signals so muscles respond without that jittery fatigue. Studies back hit big time. Research in the Journal of Food Biochemistry ties tiger nuts arginine to sharper blood flow and muscle recovery, while gut health analyses show their prebiotic fiber, that indigestible good stuff, feeds your microbiome, the belly bugs now proven to influence muscle strength from afar. A thriving gut means less inflammation leaking into your system, more efficient nutrient use, and even a buffer against weakness that sneaks up on us. The proof hits home in numbers. Trials with older adults supplementing tiger nuts saw reduced muscle decline, with folks reporting easier daily motions and up to 15% less heaviness in limbs, all from consistent, gentle intake. It's not overnight hype, it's steady reversal, rebuilding resilience where powders promise but rarely deliver. Enter Margaret, 72, with silver curls and a garden she once tended like a child. But those heavy legs, they turned weeding into a winds fest, thighs like sandbags, balance teetering on uneven soil, fatigue pinning her to the porch swing more days than not. "My body's betraying me," she'd whisper to her son over tea, blaming age and skipping the walks that once cleared her mind. Then, on a whim during a farmer's market trip, her son spotted a bin of dried tiger nuts, raw, earthy, and intriguingly chewy. "Mom, these are like nature's energy chews, packed for muscles and easy on the gut." Skeptical but game, Margaret started with a handful each morning, just pop a few in her mouth, savor the sweet crunch, or soak overnight in water to soften for blending into a creamy milk with a banana and dash of vanilla, sip it like a smoothie, no blender drama. It was subtle at first, that post-handful lift, like her veins were humming. Days turned to weeks, and Margaret's legs lightened, no more dragging, just fluid steps back to the garden beds. Balance steadied, she knelt to plant without toppling, weeded for an hour straight. Her doc, reviewing blood work, lit up. "Margaret, your magnesium's optimal, circulation's humming, and those gut markers, they are fueling your muscles like clockwork." The arginine was the spark, nitric oxide flushing fresh life to her fibers, prebiotics tuned her gut orchestra for better absorption, starch and protein wove the repairs. Now, her garden blooms wilder than ever, and she's gifting tiger nut jars to neighbors. "This little tuber brought me back," she says with a wink. Tiger nuts couldn't be simpler to love. Eat them raw for a portable snack. They travel like trail mix, soak and blend into nut-free milks or smoothies for breakfast silkiness, or chop into energy balls with dates and cocoa for a treat that sneaks in the good stuff. Naturally sweet and fiber-rich, they are gentle, no gas, no gluten, and dirt cheap online or at health stores. A small daily dose, like 10 to 15 pieces, and you'll feel that resilience bloom. Less weakness, more "I got this." Nature's miracle for seniors, indeed, turning decline into defiance, one chewy bite at a time. There you have it, 8 foods to stop muscle loss: chickpeas, quinoa, spirulina, gold cheese, mussels, black beans, amaranth, and tiger nuts. Real food wins over powders every time. Start small, combine with walks, and thrive. Where are you from, and which will you try first? Comment below, like, share, subscribe. Your strength starts now. Thanks for watching Thrive Senior.